I'm really excited about CES. So I'm a product guy because, the chief product officer at Epsilon. I'm also a gadget guy. So I love gadgets. I love innovation. So I'm really excited about seeing all the new innovations that are actually there. I'm sure there'll be lots of new devices, lots of new services that are there that, I'll just love to get my hands on. But, one of the other things, because I've been in the, MarTech and AdTech industry for 30 years, right? So one of the things I always love about like CES is actually connecting with marketers, because a lot of marketers are actually there and really seeing kind of like what they're excited about as they're getting there and getting kind of like figuring out what's going to be there for the next year, but also listening to their trepidations, right? What are their concerns that they have given the innovations that are actually happening?
So what is CES for marketers? What do you think they're going to get out of this?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a number of things that a marketer will get out of it. I think marketers have challenges today anyway when they think about like, how do I go and connect with my consumers and my customers? How do I message them? How do I take them along that journey of buying my product? So when they look at this, right, like the thing that I see and what I hear from marketers, they look at it and they say, hey, this is awesome. All the new TVs, all the new devices, all the new capabilities that are out there, but all of those new devices and capabilities are creating a fragmented consumer experience that I, as a marketer, have to figure out how do I use all these capabilities to go and actually reach and talk to these consumers, right? And sometimes it makes it really, really difficult for them to drive an efficient message to those people that are their consumers. The other thing I think they really worry about, or the thing they think about, is sometimes these new devices that they get or these new services created a new step in the customer journey, a new opportunity to interact with them, right? But that change, right, it is difficult for them to process and difficult to, it takes time, it takes talent, it takes people and resources to figure it out. And a lot of times marketers are struggling to get more resources to go and do a lot of these things.
So how do executives adjust their marketing plans as these new devices and electronics increase fragmentation?
Well, I think there's two big areas that they really have to think about when it comes to adjusting their marketing plans. The first is just really, how does this impact my marketing strategy that leads to my media strategy and plans, right? How do I go and reach the consumers that I want to go and reach, right? So one of the things that marketers have been wrestling with for decades is just a fragmentation of media consumption. That's happened, right? Long gone are the days of I'm just going to buy linear TV and reach every American in the U.S. and be able to go and get my message across. So now they have to figure out like, well, how do I go and message across these different devices? How do I message at the right time? How do I reach people when they're most receptive around that? So it's like it really changes your media plan and how you think about doing that. And every time there's a new streaming service, more fragmentation. Every time there's a new device or new way of interacting with people, it changes more fragmentation. I think the other thing that with each of these steps in the customer journey and more of the data that's available, these marketers have to rethink their technology stack that they have inside to say, hey, what investments do I have to make on the MarTech side to go and make sure that I'm getting the best data so I can have a good view of my customers? How do I go and actually drive insights that are actually out of my marketing data that I actually have that I can actually inform a strategy and a media plan that's efficient? And then, how do I go and actually message my consumers, right, across all these devices, right? And, all of that, takes time, effort, and money.
What's your take on the future of CTV and advanced TV?
Well, I think the future is very, very bright. Marketers are leaning into it very, very aggressively. You see very large growth rates of the investment that's actually there for addressable TV. It's like the thing that is the blessing of CTV and ATV is that you can actually message to a direct individual, right? Whether that is a live stream that's actually going to that person or whether it's actually an on-demand stream that's actually going to them. And you can actually measure against that distinct individual. Tremendous promise against what we actually do in the digital kind of like display ecosystem. But I think some of the challenges is when you look at how marketers are spending their money today, they spend money like it's linear TV. They spend money like they buy content adjacencies. They buy run of network or kind of like run a show that's there. They use measurement vehicles that are very similar to the linear TV, so they can compare the linear TV. So use a lot of panel-based data instead of actually looking at who actually saw my data saw my ad at scale. So I think that is really, really interesting. That the promise will hopefully get there. And I think as the spend gets at scale, as more fragmentation happens within the ATV and the CTV space, I think they'll be forced to go bring that digital playbook and really apply it for addressability and for measurability.
So any pro tips for attending CES?
Well, number one is just enjoy it and have a lot of fun. Vegas is a lot of fun. CES is a lot of fun. See all your friends, see all your colleagues across the industry and make those connections. My personal pro tip is like put a limit on it, 72 hours tops. Get in, get out, get your stuff done.